Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music. We're now on Podbean, Pandora, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, makes great gifts 24/7, 365 for your family, friends, and loved ones. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mia Molson-Zia store, including T-shirts, pop sockets, phone cases, hoodies, and more, and great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's an actor, writer, and director from Du Quoin, Illinois, and the youngest of 4 boys, and graduated high school in 2012 and joined the Air Force in 2013 and served as the Air Force Intelligence Sergeant stationed at Beale Air Force Base in Sacramento until 2019. He graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in project management, and he's also written, produced, and also starred in multiple short films. We'll talk more about those. And his new release offers a unique perspective where viewers are able to experience both sides of the story. We'll talk about that technique. And also this picture is produced by Storylit Films. We'll talk about that. And we're here to talk about the movie Sorry for Your Loss, and live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful Hollywood, California, the multi-talented actor, writer, director from Du Quoin, Illinois, from South Illinois over to Hollywood, California, talking about the movie Sorry for My Loss, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Jared Becker. Jared, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too. And it looks like you got an amazing career as well, too. So you're an actor, writer, director from Du Quoin, Illinois, and the youngest of 4 boys. You graduated high school in 2012 and joined the Air Force in 2013, served as Air Force Intelligence Sergeant at Beale Air Force Base in Sacramento until 2019. You also graduated from Aeronautical University, which is Embry-Riddle in project management. He'd also written, produced, starred in a number of short films, including Anti-Bachelorette, Shatter Pieces, Deadlines. And we're here to talk about your new release, Sorry for My Loss, which, just coming from a perspective of both sides. And we'll talk about that. And before we get into it, Jared, tell us how I first got started.
Yeah. So I started in this industry, roughly 12 years ago. Which kind of feel like I'm dating myself when I state that.
Don't we all date ourselves? I mean, that's what experience is.
Right. Yeah. In Nashville, Tennessee, my first agent signed me there. And then when she retired, I needed to garner more life experience. So I ventured into the Air Force. My grandfather served, and so I thought it was a great family tradition to carry that on. And when I found myself in Sacramento. And then when that ended, I wanted to get back into it, but the pandemic hit. And so contacted some friends who were here, and everything is remote self-tape. So jumped back into that, atmosphere of it and started getting booked very quickly, and things took off from there. So here we are in Hollywood, California.
And that's so amazing. I'm sure you flew in there by Air Force One as well, too. It makes a great story on that. And what was that one precise moment that influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Oh gosh, just really telling unique stories. I wanted to tell stories that I wish I had when I was growing up or going through tough situations. And when I couldn't find those, I figured the best bet would be to write it, create it myself. And so that's what I've done. And I'm very grateful for the audience and fans that have watched these projects and loved them. And it just really keeps me motivated to keep going.
Hmm. And who are some of your favorite actors, writers, and also directors growing up? And how about some of your favorite movies you grew up watching?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Some of my favorite actors I've been very fortunate enough to meet would be Will Ferrell, Catherine Hahn. I love Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's fantastic. Director-wise, I got to work with Steven Spielberg and got to, from a distance and then in very close proximity, which I never thought would happen, being kind of shoulder to shoulder with him, watching him work, was just phenomenal. The way that he talks to his crew and his actors, and I just had a super small part in his new movie that's coming out later this year, The Fablemans, and just getting to work kind of like choreograph this scene with him was phenomenal, and it just really inspired me to want to be that type of leader. So I thought it was very fascinating.
It sounds fascinating. And how about some of your favorite movies you watched growing up?
Yeah. Oh God, just good heartfelt stories. 50 First Dates, Bridges of Madison County, Nights in Rodanthe. Oh my God, Step Brothers. I just think they're phenomenal. Even though they're comedy, a comedy is drama in disguise. And so seeing those was just phenomenal. And then any good like Marvel cinematic universe. It's just great storytelling, how they weave these characters in and out. It's great writing.
Yeah, it's interesting. My boys happen to be into Marvel movies as well too. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
I would really say the Captain America Civil War. I think that one's phenomenal, just tying in all these characters and you're expanding. I love it.
Hmm. That's one of my favorites as well too. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's like I can't hate to be cheesy, but it's like I love comedy where they go fight the world and kick the crap out of the bad guy. So a bunch of
Yeah,
animals.
absolutely.
So, we just had all that too, and we'll talk about your movies as well too. Your experience in the Air Force, rather quickly. You listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Widener Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even beloved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Widener Show at themikewidenershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Widener Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Widener Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Widener Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Widener Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWidenerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with actor, writer, director from DuQuoin, Illinois, and talking about the latest movie, Sorry for My Loss, here on the Mike Widener Show, Jared Becker. And before we talk about some of the movies you've been in, like Anti-Bachelorette, Shatter Pieces, Deadlines, and more, let's talk about your journey. You joined the Air Force in 2013, and you served as an intelligence sergeant in Sacramento. So tell us about your journey and your experience in the Air Force.
Yeah, that was a wonderful time in my life. I genuinely have the utmost respect for everybody who I served with and got to have my mentors, and then I started to mentor others. It was wonderful. I feel like everybody should do a stint in the military. It really teaches you good leadership and how to carry yourself in society. I've met friends who became family. It really is a melting pot of cultures, and I it was very nice to, again, like you said, I grew up in a very small town in Southern Illinois, and being able to be plucked out of that and sent to, do whatever it is I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was just phenomenal. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the most important missions you've been on since you're in the Air Force?
Yeah, some of those I can't talk about because of national security.
No,
But
that's
I
fine.
did, but I did work a lot of missions for Afghanistan and Iraq, being an imagery mission supervisor, leading teams of 45 people that spanned across 3 separate countries. So working logistics on that was intense and interesting, but rewarding at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. And what was life like in Afghanistan and Iraq from your perspective?
Well, I saw it from a 30,000 foot view. So, but looking down and seeing how people live, it was just a culture shock initially when you first see something like that and realize that people do live and lead different lives. It really puts you in a perspective, and you feel very grateful for everything that you have. So not a day goes by that I look at something and take it for granted. I'm always very grateful.
Mm-hmm. And also too that you've been in Sacramento as well too, and you also later went on to school and you graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in project management. And tell us a bit
I
about the
did.
experience at that university.
Yeah, so going to school was a little intense because I was doing shift work in the Air Force simultaneously.
Wow.
But it was, I just want to make sure I set myself up for success when I did depart the Air Force. And I worked really hard for those degrees. And so when I left and jumped into civilian world, it was another culture shock, because transitioning from military lifestyle where everything is very structured and your position in the chain of command, going to a civilian employment where essentially nobody cares was was just a little I was like a fish out of water, because I came in as like a senior project manager for a company, and when I would go into a meeting and lead it, and I did 3 months of leadership training in the Air Force that taught you how to speak to people professionally, and when I would go into a meeting, these people had no respect whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if it was just the environment or what, but that was my first taste of being back into civilian life. And so it was an adjustment period to learn how to talk to people, because some people would get offended the way you talk to them very authoritatively. So it was a challenge for sure, but got the hang of it.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you manage to adjust with the style that you had? Because in the military, it's like you have to instruct a certain way, speak a certain way, and everything else. And then you go to a company where it's like no respect, everything's all loosey goosey and all that. It's like how'd you manage to get yourself adjusted from that military mindset over to the creative mindset?
Yeah, definitely. It took some time, and being very empathetic as I am, learning that everyone comes from a different background, and Air Force was very structured. Like you said, you could give an order without being questioned why. It was just you do it. And I had to learn that people have the right to ask why, and being very resilient as well. Learning that some people may be having an off day, and you have to put yourself in their shoes and figure out why someone may have an attitude. So it's just opening yourself up and peeling back the layers of the onions, and that just realizing that everybody has their own issues that really help transition leadership styles.
Oh, that's rather interesting. I like that perspective. You said, just peeling off the onions, getting the issues and everything else. Also, it also reminds me about the movie as well, too. Sorry for My Loss, which offers a unique perspective where viewers are able to experience both sides of the story. Before we talk about that, you also had some other short films as well, too, like Anti-Bachelorette, Shatter Pieces, Deadlines, and tell us all about those.
Yeah, so Deadlines, I got to be an executive producer on for the guys over at Crazy Ant Media, Dustin and Logan. That's just a wonderful story. That initially I read the script and I fell in love with it, and I auditioned for it. and 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 I remember doing the interview with those guys, and they were saying, they're like, Jared, your audition shaped that character and how it should
Hmm.
go. And so they creatively went a different direction with it, but I got
Hmm.
to jump on board as the EP,
Hmm.
and it's just wonderful. Those guys are so creative. Shatter Pieces was the first film that I wrote that was able to be produced and created. That one was difficult to write because it was a true story very close to my family. We had a situation where a family friend passed away,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I just the grieving process with it was difficult because I wasn't playing myself. I was playing someone very personal to me, and so I spent 4 hours crying on a rooftop. So that
Wow. Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
difficult, but that was the way to grieve for me creatively. Years after that had happened, that event, it was just very cathartic to write. And then Anti-Bachelorette is a feature that's in development, and I've got some really big names attached to it. I'm really excited. That one should be filming this year, but that's another one. I only write things that I know. That's the thing that are personal. And so this one follows the story of not my life this time, but a very close friend who ended an engagement after 9 years, and instead of letting the bachelorette party go to waste, her friends take her on a journey to mourn the loss of that relationship and find herself, resulting in the anti-bachelorette trip.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Kind of reminds me of what was that one movie with Vince Vaughn? Was it like you know, Wedding Crasher, something Bachelor, whatever it is? It's like
Yeah,
I'm thinking somewhere along those lines. I know you're talking about. I'm
you
sure that'll
yeah
pop up. Yeah.
you would be correct. Yeah, it really is sort of like a bridesmaids, wedding crashers, girls trip type of movie, where
Hmm.
it's just all these. It's a very fun ensemble, and I wrote it with a lot of heart that each character has their specific journey they go on, and it's just wonderful, and it's been a joy to write.
Hmm. And how about some of the other films you've been in as well too? I know you've been in multiple films, and maybe just pick a few more and tell us about those.
Yeah. So what the one I have coming up that I film in a few weeks is Reveille. I play World War II hero Audie Murphy, and for those who don't know, he's the most decorated World War II veteran in United States history.
Mm.
And playing him is exciting and nerve wracking. And I've been in preparation for this one for a few months now. And to play a real person who is just so loved by, you know, America and the world, and especially everyone in the military, has been exciting because I read about Audie while I was in the Air Force and his accomplishments, and the given circumstances of why he did what he did was phenomenal. And I know I say that word so much in this interview, but I always say it genuinely, is he forged paperwork when he was underage to
What?
join the
That's
military.
phenomenal. I'm kidding.
His it's the life that he had. You know, his dad left and his mother died when he was young, and he had his sisters to take care of. So his sisters helped forge paperwork so he could join the military. So when he got out, he could take care of them.
Hmm.
And even in the military, just his selfless acts of service was unfathomable. I'm playing Audie when he was 18,
Oh
and
wow.
on the mountainside in Italy, 1942, leading these troops and getting. And I don't want to give the movie away, but all these events happen. It's very psychological and deals with the mental effect that war takes a toll on you,
Hmm.
and what happens when you come face to face with the enemy. And it's a wonderful cast and crew. Michael Ackerman is our director and writer, and him and the advisors, the attention to detail that they have with this movie has been like nothing I've ever worked with before.
Hmm.
We have German advisors that have stepped in as well, and we have authentic World War II equipment that we get to use in the uniforms. Every stitch and seam is perfectly matched to the era that it comes from.
Wow.
Our boots are crafted specifically from a company who replicates everything, and it's going to be very long days, but it's a dream role to get to play Audie Murphy. So I
Hmm.
can't wait for everyone to see that.
That sounds fascinating. I'm looking forward to that as well too. And we were reading about the book of Audie as well too. What are some of the other example or two that exemplified his selflessness, or why he was a hero in the in the forces as well? Maybe a couple more examples of him.
Yeah, Audie always did, from what I've been able to garner and listening to his family talk about him, he never took shortcuts. from what I've been able to understand. He always did what was right. And there's certain instances where when it came face to face with the enemy, when he had to do that, it would have been so much easier just to get rid of them. But instead, Adi was like, no, we didn't come to war specifically just to murder them for no reason. Like, we are going to administer aid and take care of them. That is our job as soldiers. That's why we signed up. And everyone that he worked with, that in this troop that he led, they were drafted. Adi's the only one who willingly signed up to be in the military. And to take that into my own perspective, because yes, we still have the draft now, but everyone that you see going to the service is volunteered to go. And being able to look at my own experience and try to mesh Adi and Jared to be one, it's, you take these. I don't know what it's like to be stuck on a mountainside in Italy and being bombed at every day. But what I do know is being a young leader and what it takes to tell people what to do in the instance that you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And even at 18 years old, Adi, from his book and the stories and the people that he got to be around, always was very stern and had this force about him that was, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm right. But at the same time, you're a child at 18. you don't know everything. You don't know what you're doing, but his ability to just stand fast and say, you know, with intent and integrity, he's like, we are doing this. And the way his troops just listened to him was just, I couldn't imagine being in his shoes. I will be in his shoes, but in that time, it would have been a lot different.
Oh, that sounds phenomenal. I'm so looking forward to it, Jared. And where can we find your works with Anti-Bachelorette, which you guys working on, Shatter Pieces, Deadlines? Where can we find your works at?
Yeah, so Shatter Pieces is online. It's on YouTube. It's also on my Instagram page. Shatter Pieces jumpstarted my career because I wrote that. I got nominated for Best Actor at an international film festival, and I lost to Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And because I lost to him, I got my entire team. I owe my career to Kevin. And I was supposed to see him on a carpet, but then COVID hit and I never got to go. And nobody got to go. So when I see him next, I'm gonna give him a big thank you.
Yeah, certainly we'll do so, and say hi to everybody as well, and we'll talk about your latest release, Sorry for My Loss, in just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war ring author Mia Molson Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with actor, writer, and director from DuQuoin, Jared Becker, after this timeout. We're back with the amazingly multi-talented actor, writer, director, Jared Becker here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we talked about his amazing career growing up in Southern Illinois, also about his work in the Air Force as well, and also his movies. And let's talk about your latest, Sorry for My Loss, which is about basically just offering a unique perspective about where viewers are able to experience both sides of the story. And without unreliable narrator, follows a relationship of two people. And tell us more about the movie Sorry for My Loss, Jared.
Yeah, Sorry for My Loss, and you hit it perfectly. It follows two sides of the same relationship where one individual can be at the height of their career. Nothing could go wrong. Everything is perfect for them. But the other person is just mentally dying inside and struggling. And I feel like at some point, everyone's been either of these characters in a relationship. I've very seldomly seen a movie that allows both people to really express what they were feeling without it being some kind of comical twist and making a joke out of it. I really want to make something that was more serious and let you in on these mental struggles that you have in these moments of vulnerability. And so creating this, I wrote this early last year and had to take some time. Pre-production took a little bit longer. We want to make sure it got right. But that movie was a little challenging because I wrote it based off real experiences.
Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. And also, do you think that kind of that genre as well too, like somebody's on top of the world and the other is down with mental issues? Do you think from your perspective is that groundbreaking, or do you think that's something similar in some of the movies that you have seen? I've never seen really that, in quite a while, where it's like somebody's on top of the world and the other's like, down in the dumps here.
I haven't seen that in such a long time. And it was important to do a mental health perspective of it, which is something in Hollywood is kind of taboo, is what I've been getting told. Because
Mhm.
I wanted to break that barrier of it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to not feel, like you're in it or you're fine. And a lot of people are starting to come forward with that, and I really appreciate that because mental health is a big thing we have to deal with in this industry, let alone everywhere else. This industry really knocks you down, and a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine have had these relationships, and my own included, where it was this situation where it was this uneven thing, and when you try to communicate, it's the balance shifts, and you're victimized for expressing your feelings. So I really want to take this opportunity in one of the scenes where our lead actress was Jane, having this moment on the couch where she's expressing her feelings and really getting to the heart of it and talking about what's going on in her brain. Because when you express that to someone, sometimes it's not always comprehended. It goes in one ear and out the other. And so it's important to have that.
Mhm. And do you think with the person, the story, like you say with Jane, is just pouring her heart out with all these issues, and you got Aaron, who was on top of the world. Do you think he was willing to listen, or is it just like that he was just thinking a different way, or making an attempt to solve?
I think Aaron isn't a bad person. He's just doing what he thinks is best. And that's okay. Sometimes, but sometimes your best is not the right answer. Sometimes you don't need to talk. I think he tried to listen, but he was always in this narcissistic cycle of how does it relate to me? And sometimes what I've learned is sometimes your partner doesn't want you to fix something. They just want you to listen. And when you don't do that, it goes downhill. So the big component of this movie was communication and just being there. And when you're not there, things fall apart.
Mhm. And what else you want the viewers to get out of the movie as well? What other message?
Yeah, you have to make yourself happy at the end of the day. You can't lie to yourself just to make someone else feel okay. If you're constantly filling up someone else's tank, who's filling up yours?
Mhm.
And so learning to stand on your own 2 feet is, and keeping your mental health in check is the main message of this, is to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you're all you have.
Mhm. And I think that's a really good point as well, too. Something to keep in mind too that a lot of us can relate. And where can we find "Sorry for My Loss" at?
Sorry for My Loss premieres April 15th. It'll be on streaming, and that announcement will come out via social media, and they can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Jared Becker 93.
Okay, we will certainly do so. We're here with the multi-talented actor, writer, director from South Illinois, Jared Becker. He's based out of Hollywood here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more minutes, Jared. You've been totally amazing. And what can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond?
I am filming 3 different TV shows.
Wow.
So I'm writing for 2 different TV shows. I'm writing this feature. 2022 is a very busy year, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of my face this coming year. So
Wow. Oh, great way to keep busy. I got to say
yeah.
that's amazing. And who do you consider biggest influence in a career?
Oh my gosh. For sure, Steven Spielberg, definitely, as far as the filmmaking side, and then acting wise, I really look to Elizabeth Olsen for her portrayal in drama. She's peak. I love her. I love her for that.
Okay. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Anybody wanting to get into this industry is you have to believe in yourself. And when you wake up and you look in the mirror, you have to say, you are here for a reason. You've got this. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will.
And that's a very good point to keep in mind as well, too. Once again, actor, writer, director, Jared Becker of Sorry for My Loss here on the Mike Wagner Show. Jared, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact or people can purchase or check out your works.
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's Jared Becker 93. there we will be posting all the info for Sorry for My Loss that will premiere April 15th on streaming services. We can't announce where just yet, but we will tell you then. And then Anti-Bachelorette will be, more updates will be coming soon as far as casting, and the TV show announcements will happen later in the summer.
Sounds great. We're so looking forward to it. Once again, Jared, very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you on soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch, and looking forward to having you on again. We wish you all the best, and you've got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.